Now, now let's learn about the map method, how we can work with the map method in the HTTP pipeline, right? And for that, we need to write app.map. So basically, when we want to insert any middleware logic, right, for a specific URL, in that case, we go for the map method. And before we proceed, let's go to the definition of this method, and we can see the definition of this method. It is saying that it branches the request pipeline based on matches of the given request path. And if the request path starts with the given path, the branch is executed. Remember one thing, that whatever code it is going to execute by using the map method, it is executing in a separate branch. It will get execute in a separate branch, right? Now let's come back to our code, and we need to define two parameters over here. Second one, it is expecting configuration. So let's define our custom code. And in the first one, let's define the code. Let's say I'm giving the weapon to pass in the URL, right? And now let's generate the method stub for this custom code. And for that, we need to click on quick actions and refactorings. Then we need to generate method startup.custom code. It will generate the method definition for the custom code. We can see when we will scroll down in the bottom, it has provided us the method definition of custom code, right? Now let's this parameter is coming from this iApplication builder. We can see this. So let's copy this and let's keep the same, right? And over here, let's add some code in this custom code method, right? And we are going to add one middleware in this method, right? For that, I have already written. So just to save the time, so we have simply added one middleware which is going to return this output, right? Now after saving the changes, let's save the changes and run the application in the browser. So let's wait. And we can see the output. So we can see there is this is a default output that we were getting earlier. There is no any change, right? Why so? Because we haven't passed any matching in the URL, right? So that's why, because we are not passing any we are not passing match in the URL for the custom code, right? So this time let's pass, and for the custom code we have defined that weapon in the URL and pressing the enter key. Now this time we can see we are getting the output from our custom method, from the custom middleware. We can see hello from weapon, right? So let's go back to our code, and you can see in the code that when the control will come here first time, then it will execute the first middleware, and it is giving the output hello from use1 first message, right? And then just because of this method, next method, the control will switch to the next middleware, and the next middleware is your custom code. We can see we have used map method with the custom code. So now the control will go to this custom code and it will execute this custom code, and the output of this custom code is hello from weapon. We are getting the same output, hello from weapon. So after executing the code from this custom code, or we can say custom middleware, then the control will come back to the first middleware and it will execute the remaining code in the first middleware, and it is giving the output hello from use1. We can see in the browser, right? So this is how basically map method works. Remember one thing, I'm telling you again, that while executing this custom code, it will execute in a separate branch. The code will execute in a separate branch. So that's why after executing this custom code, the control will come back to the same first middleware, and it will execute the remaining code of the first middleware, and then application terminates. It will not execute the remaining middlewares. Why? Because of this map custom method. because it always execute in a separate branch. That's why. That's it. Let me stop the application. So this is how our map method works basically behind the scene.